Hello everyone, welcome to Ayumilove channel. Today I'll be showcasing my Doom Tower team for Astronics the Dark Fae. So I'm working on the Doom Tower heart. There are a couple of floors that I've completed, but let me show you my team. So this is my full auto run team for Astronics the Dark Fae. So in this team composition, I have Lysandra as the lead to provide additional speed. She has an aura that increases ally speed in all battles by 24%. And she also has the ability to apply an increased speed buff on all allies and increase their turn meter, as well as to decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 30%. She also has her signature move, which is the Exhaustion A2 skill on 3 turn cooldown that fully depletes the target's turn meter. So she is a MVP champion for Astronics the Dark Fae. So second champion I have here is Bigan. So Beacon is my AoE damage duker for the mobs to clear the first and second wave as well as the mirror copies. So what makes him quite good in this boss is he has his A3 skill, Molten Slag, has the ability to attack all enemies 2 times, decreases their turn meter by 25%, and has a chance of placing 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. So coupled with the decreased turn meter and decreased speed, it makes it easier to manage Asterix the Dark Fae, so she will not take any turn at all. And these two are just basically damage skills. Then I have another my secondary damage dealer, which is Herdic. So if Beacon wasn't able to finish off the enemies, Herdic will come in with his A1 Little Lust, attacks one enemy, grants an extra turn, and decreases the cooldown of the stasis skill by 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. So he can quickly wipe out all the enemies with like 10 or 20% remaining HP left. He also has a 8-3 skill called Stasis Strike, which also fully depletes the target's turn meter. So this is like a safety net for my team. So if Astronics the Dark Fae has a lot of turn meter, this guy can come in and wipe it out again. And also he has the ability to apply decreased defense and decreased accuracy with his A2 skill, Arcane Tempest. Okay, and I have 2 alerts here to decrease the boss turn meter. So she's famous for her Psychic Whip, attacks 3 times at random, decreases the target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. So this is her signature skill. So currently, let's see, do I have it on? Yeah, so this is a team preset. So for this team, I just disable Allura's Hellish Blaze. So she will just focus on using this Temptation, her AoE attack, to help to clear the enemy wave, and then focus on her Psychic Whip. For the rest, Lysandra, Beacon, and Herdic, they're all using the default AI preset. So here are the list of the speed. Lysandra at 306 speed, Beacon at 208, Herdic at 196, Allure at 237, and my secondary alert is 235. So let's see them in action. Let me start the battle. So this will be full auto. So Lysandra comes in with a decreased speed, then everyone come in to nuke. So that's a champion called Daywalker that he can revive himself after being killed. So as you can see, my Allurus comes in with her Temptation skill to perform the AoE attack. And Lysandra comes in with the Deplete skill, as you can see just now. So this will take a while for them to slowly dwindle down Astronyx the Dark Fey health. So while they are doing their things, let me go through Astronyx skills before the time runs out. So basically, what's this? I cannot click this one. So the first one is the Dark Energy. Summons mirror copies of all enemies onto Astronyx team every time her Dark Energy counter reaches 5. Also places Perfect Veil buff on Astronyx, the Dark Fae, for 3 turns every time her Dark Energy counter reaches 5. So you wouldn't want her to increase her Dark Energy counter. So this is Astronyx Dark Fae skill. Dark Light Beams. She attacks all enemies and has a 100% chance of placing Leech debuff on each enemy for 2 turns. Then her A2 skills, Dark Tendrils. So basically this attack will apply some has a special ability based on the champion affinities in your team. However, this does not concern if you are able to prevent her from moving. I mean, prevent her from taking her turn. So this one steals one random buff from each enemy according to the number of magic champions on the enemy team. One buff for each magic champion. Then she also able to steal the turn meter based on the number of force champions you have on your team, as well as placing True Fear debuff based on the number of void champions. Uh, let me pause first. So she also has a 25% chance of placing a True Fear debuff on each enemy for 1 turn. The chance increases by 25% for each void champion on the enemy team. And if you have a spirit champion, she will heal herself by 10% per spirit champion. Okay. So the third skill is Fairy Storm, which attacks all enemies. All living allies will team. So allies will team up and join this attack. So basically, this is an ally join attack for her that summons all the mirror copies to attack that same target. Then Dark Abduction. So this one is the skill that banishes one enemy champion and spawns a mirror copy of them onto Astronyx team. Places a True Fate debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Increases Astronyx Dark Energy counter by 1. So you can counter this True Fear and Fear by having like Doom Priest or Inquisitor Shamel to remove this Fear debuff. So this is Astronyx first passive skill, Fey Mirror. Places a perfect view buff on Astronyx the Dark Fey for 3 turns and spawns a mirror copies of all enemies onto Astronyx team at the start of the battle. Spawns mirror copies of all enemies onto Astronyx team every time her Dark Energy counter reaches 5. Also places a perfect view buff on Astronyx the Dark Fey for 3 turns every time her Dark Energy counter reaches 5. And this Dark Energy counter resets after it reaches 5. So this is by clicking the info tab, you can see this is the perfect view. Perfect view also decreases the incoming damage on her. So in order to target her, you need to wipe out all the mirror copies, then only you can target her. Otherwise, it prevents you from targeting. Okay. Right, I think I've done this one. This is her second passive skill, Almighty Immunity, which makes her immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block active skills, block passive skills, fear, and true fear. So basically, she's immune to all crowd control skills. She is also immune to HP exchange effects, HP balancing effects, and cooldown increasing effects. Okay. And this is her third passive skill, Almighty Strength. Damage from skills that scale based on enemy max HP cannot exceed 10% of the boss max HP when attacking the enemy. So this basically caps out the damage of the skills that deals based on enemy max HP. And finally, Almighty Persistence, her final passive skill, which reduces the turn meter effects by 50% when used against the boss. So that's the reason why I have like multiple decreased turn meter champions to to counter this passive skill. So I have like more safety net to bring her turn meter down. For these three passive skills, they are commonly exist on all the Doom Tower bosses, but some Doom Tower bosses have like special mechanics, like Eternal Dragon, that allows you to apply cooldown increasing effects. but some does not allow you to apply poison or poison debuff, or the poison debuff damage is reduced by a significant amount. So let me press auto again. So basically that's it for Dark Fae. With this team composition, I think it will also work for the higher stages. Hopefully this team will give you some inspiration on what champions to use to do your full auto run for this boss. Having said that, with this team, it will allows you to farm little sets, I think, from the forge. So these are the little set that provides a critical rate of a 10% bonus critical rate, as well as ignores 25% of enemy defense. So this is a better version of Savage set. I do not have much resources farm right now, so later I'll farm more from her to build some little sets for my champion. Oh yeah, before I forget, let me show you guys what are the other players are currently using to beat Dark Fae. So here are the list of best teams. Currently there are only 2 members from my clan who is able to complete this floor. So one is Orion and me. So we uses Allure and Visix. Visix Dumbo is also a great champion to decrease the 10 meter of the boss, as well as to apply decreased speed. Okay, for the global rankings, there are currently around about playroom already updated so that you can view up to 30 players. Before that, you were only able to view up to 10. So having with this feature being implemented, you can get some ideas on what champions they are currently using. I noticed they use ally joint attack champions such as Krilla Witcharm, Longbeard, and who else? I noticed there's Cardale to perform the ally joint attack, Hurricane the Fat, who is an epic champion, as well as Lanakis the Chosen. And I also noticed a common pattern where they uses AoE nuker to nuke down the first 2 waves such as Ethos, Tranda, Vegan, the one that I showed just now, and I think that's it. Then we also notice there's Prince Kaima. I think this is to reset their ultimate skill cooldowns so they can nuke the mirror copies on the boss wave. I also see there's like Marshall, Dracomorph to apply the decreased defense and weaken. And also you can use Septimus since he has a similar ability as Herndик, who can also perform how do I say? When he kills the enemy with his default attack A1 skill, he gains an extra turn, so he can like wipe out the enemy one by one. So in case like Bigan wasn't able to finish off the enemy, Septimus or Herndik can come in and wipe out the enemy. And I also noticed there's Krotraxa. I think she's used as a single target nuker. And Jintoro, Foley, and the Priest Brogni. I wonder why they used this guy. And Baron. Baron has a superior attack aura to boost all the attack champions' attack stats. And I see Marshall. Maybe it's to crowd control the mirror copies with his fear. I'm not sure unless I see it. And wow, that's quite interesting. We also notice Brohard the Blooded. He's not commonly he's quite underrated. He's one of the champion that is great for crowd controlling bosses with his turn meter. And he also applies us decreased speed as well. Then we have Saito and Little Miss Annie, who is similar who plays a similar role as Krotraxa. So that's basically it for the champions that are being used in this boss. if you head over to my, if you would like to gather more information regarding the Astronics the Dark Fey boss, you can head over to ayumilove.net, then go to the Getting Started section, click on Raid Shadow Legends. And as you can see here, this is the homepage for Raid Shadow Legends. Then when you scroll down, search for Doom Tower Dark Fey. Currently, this link is not found in this index. Later, I'll edit it in here. So, for now, you just click here to go to the page. Once you're over there, you can find information regarding on Astronic's skills, like her active skills that I described in the battle previously, as well as her passive skills. So if you scroll down, you can find her stats. So the stats is categorized into two parts based on the difficulty, normal and hard. And each stage, in each difficulty, there are three stages. This is incorrect. I think this is stage 40, I believe. Stage 40, stage 80, and stage 120 for Doom Tower normal. And stage 40, 80, and 120 for hard as well. So you can identify the amount of health she has, the HP as hit points, as well as her attack, defense, speed, resistance, accuracy, critical rate, and critical damage. So in order to begin the battle first before she starts, you need to have speeds above the speed stated here. So previously I was working on the stage 40. Most of my champions are above 210 speed, I believe. So that allows me to go first. And here are the list of resistance. So in order for your decreased turn meter and decreased speed to apply on the boss, your champion's accuracy will need to be higher than this. So if it's at the final stage, stage 120, you need to have at least minimum 330 accuracy or more. And the surprising thing for Dark Fate is she does not have a lot of accuracy. I noticed that she has lesser accuracy compared to most Doom Tower bosses such as like Scarab King, Pummel the Dreadhorn. So I believe this is to make it easier for players to take her down since she is able to summon mirror copies of your champion. And below the Dark Phase stats, you can also find the written guide for this boss as I dissect how much accuracy and resistance required for your champions based on the Doom Tower difficulty and the flaws, as well as the ways to defeat Astronics mirror copies and Astronics Dark Fate boss. I've also listed down what are the MVP champions to be used for this floor, such as like Lysandra, Allure, Amiga, and the effects that is most essential for the boss, such as the decreased meter and decreased speed. And below here, we can find the forged materials. So by vanquishing the Dark Fae, she will reward you with Fae Spheres, where you can craft little sets. And there are currently 6 items that you can craft, which are the weapon, helmet, shield, gauntlet, chestplate, and the shoes. Scrolling down below, you can find the team setup that I have written here. So this setup is based on Steel Gaming's. This is one of the great YouTube content creator who found many ways of on how to defeat the Doom Tower bosses, and this is one of his setup, which is a much more budget version that does not require any legendary champions. So this setup uses Hordin as the damage nuker, followed by 2 Armigers and Allure to apply the decreased turn meter, as well as Sala to apply the decreased turn meter and decreased speed. So I break down the on how his team works. If you like to view his video on how he performed his team, you can find his video here as well. And there are other rig content creators who also created guides on how to beat the boss. You can find them below here in the video section, such as Scratch, where he does the floor 120 in hard mode. Murdering, one of the content creators who dissect how this Astronics boss works. And you can also find the official video from the official Raid Shadow Legends channel. If you have any questions, you can post them in the website channel here, or you can post on my YouTube channel comment section too. Also, if you like to see the stats and artifacts on the champions that I use, you can also go to the all ranking overview here on the sidebar. Then just search for the name of the champion that I use, like Vegan. So as you can see, he's one of the S rank champions. You click on the link, then you just scroll down to the reference section. So as you can see, I have my damage nuker in service set. So this is the masteries that I use, the equipment I use, and the stats, as well as the individual artifact stats breakdown. Hopefully this can give you some guidance on how to build your damage nuker, not only just for Doom Tower bosses, as well as for other areas in the game, such as Arena, Faction Wars, Doom Tower content. If you're new to my channel, you can click on the subscribe button and hit on the notification bell so you get updated whenever I upload a new video to my YouTube channel. If you found this video helpful, click on the like button and share with your friends and clan members. That's it for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.